I saw Joker Folie, Deux, and I can't not stop thinking about this movie, and I have to talk about it. So let's go hop into today's review of Joker 2, of Joker Folie, Deux. So, what is this movie about? This movie is about the events after Joker 1 and Arthur Fleck being in the asylum, being in prison, and he's going on trial. This movie is a musical thriller where Arthur Fleck meets Lee, who is also known as Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn, pretty much we call her that because she go by Lee, but we call her Harley Quinn. Who meets Harley Quinn, and they just pretty much watch Arthur on trial, and Arthur rehashes the events of the first movie. This movie is, I'm gonna be honest with you, not that good. Let's be honest. As a musical, it's not a good musical. As a thriller, it's okay. Like, it's not gonna knock you off your feet. But the movie's also, it's not that good of a movie, put it that way. It's not gonna be, I'm just gonna be honest with you, it's not that good of a movie. Like, you're not gonna walk away being like, this is the worst movie you ever seen, but you're also not gonna be like, satisfied, like, I just watched a good movie or an average movie. You'll be like, yeah. Like, that's how you're gonna walk out. So, the things I like the acting, I like the visuals. The acting in this movie, Joaquin Phoenix, Lady Gaga, they knock it out the park. The acting is phenomenal. Great work from the rest of the cast as well. The movie visually looks good. It has, like, the scenes in the prison, the scenes at the court, the musical pieces when he goes, Arthur Fleck thinks in his mind, and it has, like, the song and dance. Visually, it looks good. That's the two compliments I can give to this movie. The downside of the movie, the storytelling. So the movie for the most part is about Arthur being in prison and people trying to figure out, are you the funny man? Are you the killer? And then he meets Harley Quinn by going to a musical class because one of the prison guards wanted to go to the musical class. So he takes Arthur with him for no reason. Legit, he said, Arthur, you've been pretty good, but he could take anybody. And that's when you know you're watching a movie that's not really that good. It's when the prison guard could just walk to the class by himself, listen to the music class, and then didn't even bring Arthur into it. If you didn't bring Arthur with him, the movie would have ended. It wouldn't be Joker 2, it would just be Joke. But anyway, so he takes Arthur with him. Arthur meets Harley Quinn, who's a super fan, who she's like, I watched your TV movie like 6 times or 3 times. And she told him like 130 times at first, but then she ended up telling the truth and like, no, it was only a couple of times. But anyway, she watched the movie. She thinks that Arthur Fleck is the Joker, the personification that he made in the movie, this symbolism for chaos and anarchy. And Arthur's like, by the end of the movie, that's not me. I'm just a dude who lost his cool really bad and decided to kill people who were making fun of me or I thought was making fun of me, and yeah, I should get in prison. Like, and then when he tells her the truth at the end of the movie, Harley Quinn was like, deuces. Now, let's talk about the musical. The music side of things. When it comes to this movie, a good musical, The Greatest Showman, I think of that one. I think of a good musical. Generally, the musical pieces are explaining the story and pretty much moving the story along. In The Greatest Showman, when Zac Efron and Hugh Jackman are at the pub and they're talking about, our business ideas and how to make, this grand business. And I believe Zac Efron trying to get Hugh Jackman to buy into it. This is a whole musical piece, and they're like walking around talking about what they would do, how they would do it, and look at this, and look at this. This movie does not do that. The musical pieces in this movie are simply just to, I don't know, fill time. The movie's 2 hours and 18 minutes, and it seemed like the music pieces were just to fill time. It didn't move the plot along. It didn't pretty much generate anything else. It might give you the more mindset of what Arthur's thinking, but we know what he's thinking. We saw in the first movie. And then they go back with the musical pieces and just kind of like set them there and leave them. Like, don't get touched on again. For example, there's a scene where Kathleen Keener, she's in this movie, she's Arthur Fleck's lawyer. She tells him that Harley Quinn is using him. And then Arthur has a musical dream or a musical thought and he's thinking about this, and in the musical theatrical part of his thinking, the song, she shoots him at the end of the music piece and he's like, are you really going to betray me? As he go talk to Harley Quinn after the sound is over. Like, he legit just goes walk and talk about what he just thought of. And also what Kathleen Keener told him prior to him thinking of this musical piece. There's only 2 times in this movie where the musical pieces actually hit. It's when Arthur and Harley are running out of the asylum, or running out of the prison, and they're singing and it's raining and all that stuff, but then they get put right back into prison, so they didn't really escape. It's making it sound like they're going to escape, which that was the case, that would have been cool. And then the other one when Arthur's like on trial and he's like, you know what, I'm taking over, I'm going to be the Joker. That was neat. Other than that, everything else wasn't really necessary when it came to musical pieces in this movie. And the ending of this movie was pretty much made just to shock you, because Arthur starts off the movie the same way he ends it, in prison. Starts the movie in prison, he ends in prison. Pretty much, it almost ends exactly high and low. Like the same exact piece. He started off in prison, pretty much low in the point. He goes high throughout the movie, drops back down to a low point at the end of the movie, back in prison. You're like, okay, cool, the movie's about to end. And then he gets killed by a guy who's a psychotic dude who cuts his face after he kills Arthur, cuts his face to make the Joker smile. And we're all supposed to insinuate that the guy that just killed him is the Joker from the Dark Knight universe, which doesn't make sense, but okay, we're just gonna roll with it. Yeah. This movie is not that good of a movie. Also, there's an unnecessary sex scene in the movie for no reason. And the pacing of the movie is dragged out. Like, it's slow up to the point of the trial. I guess there's some little action bits when Harley and Joker meet each other, they're escaping. And then it goes back to Arthur being locked up. And then Harley somehow gets into his jail cell because they let her in there for some reason. But she's also supposed to be an inmate. Could find out she's not. She's lying by her whole personification to be in this cell just so she can get to Arthur and want to build a mountain with him, which somebody even asked her in the movie, what does that mean? Because nobody knows what build a mountain means. And she moves into his apartment, which she's like, I don't like that apartment, but she's a super fan. That's why she went to prison, to meet him. But anyway, like, he ends up back in there. She goes into some room, meets him. Then she ends up hooking up with him and then tells him that she's pregnant. And all those just seem unnecessary when it comes to pacing the movie. Like those bits and pieces, it was not necessary to add value to the movie, to add anything. Okay, yeah, he has a crush on her. And yes, she has a crush on him. But you could do that in other ways without having to throw a sex scene in there. Like, it was not necessary. Poorly written. And pretty much a rehash of the first movie. If you watch Joker 1, you're going to get the rehashing of it during the trial in Joker 2. How many people he killed. Investigating people who was in the first movie. Explaining what their experience was with Arthur in the first movie. Like, it was just the same stuff. And to be honest, there's a scene in the trailer where you see there's an explosion. You know, Arthur gets out, he's running. That's him escaping the trial. But then goes right back to prison. So it was like, why? Yeah. So, it is a movie you should worth watching. No, don't spend your time on it. I'm going to give Joker 2, Folie a Deux. I'm going to give this movie a 69%, a D+. The reason I'm giving the movie a D+, the visuals is really good and the acting is really good. I mean, everybody's acting their butts off and trying to make something out of nothing with this movie. It's just, when it comes to the musical aspect of it, it's not a good musical. It's a really bad musical. The pacing is really long for no reason. Unnecessary scenes thrown into the movie when it comes to storytelling. It just doesn't work. And then more than anything, when you take out the fact that the prison guard who wanted to go to the music class doesn't choose Arthur and chooses somebody else, it really just pretty much ends the whole movie. The movie will end within 20 minutes. It's not that good of a movie. IMDb gives the movie a 5.3 out of 10. That's an F for IMDb standards. And Rotten Tomato, they give this movie a 32% by the critics and a 32% by the audience. That is, that's how you know you don't have a really good movie when you get 32%, you get an F. And Joker Folie a Deux, not worth watching. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Movie Breakdowns, Ollie Reviews, whatever it is. Just, I'm back sometimes and come review some stuff. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Really appreciate y'all and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all and keep being awesome.